cool girl with the style so clean. We kick back while the beat play loud, laughing out, chilling in the middle of the crowd. Walk downtown just to pass some time. Sun going down, everything felt fine. Drop my luck, said you wanna roll? She just smiled, said I got my own. No stress, I kept it moving. Made another night with new faces instead. City lights and the rhythm don't stop. Every corner got a new vibe to rock. Good vibes. All I really want is good vibes. In the morning, good vibes. In the evening, good vibes. Good vibes. Yeah, I'm chasing good vibes all day long. I want good vibes. Different styles from across the map. Different laughs in the way they chat. From the clubs to the late night spots. Every face got a story and a lot. We just groove, let the music play. No pressure, just float away. Hands up high when the beat drops low. Feel that rhythm in your soul. Two-step left, then you slide to the right. Everybody vibing through the night. No drama here, just energy bright. We keep it moving to the sunrise light. No labels, no stress, just blow. Let the good times come and go. From the street to the stage we ride. All we want is that feel good vibe. Hey, feel the groove. Oh, hey, make you move. Hey, hey, keep it live. Oh, good vibes. Good vibes. All I really want is good vibes. In the morning, good vibes. In the evening, good vibes. Good vibes. Yeah, we keep it alive all day long. That's the vibe. Good vibes. Hey, hey. Stay fly. Hey, hey. All night. So what you want? What you want? So what you want? Yeah. Tell me that. Plug me in, yeah, I spark that sound. Flip that rhythm, make the beat go round. You talk slick, but I see right through. All that noise don't mean nothing new. So tell me why you act so loud. Fighting hard just to play the crowd. In my mind, I'm breaking it down. Turn that pressure to a brand new sound. Let it roll like a wave on blast. Step on stage and I move that fast. Got precision in the lines I drop. Every word hit hard, not stop. So what you want? What you want? Tell me now what you want. So what you want? What you want? Step right up, go front. Whoa. Where you get that info from? Think you know, but you know just some. I keep flowing like a steady stream. Living real, not a filter dream. Mic to mic, yeah, I call it out. Make the whole room scream and shout. You can see what I get with me. No disguise, just authenticity. Mind run fast like I lost control, but I turn that chaos into soul. Step back once, then I reignite. Bring that fire every time I ride. Walk my path, I don't follow trends. Stay sharp, never play pretend. Eyes wide open, I read the scene. Know what's fake and what's surely mean. Hey, speak it out. Oh, no doubt. Hey, make it clear. Oh, we right here. So what you want? What you want? Tell me now what you want. So what you want? What you want? Step right up, go front. Oh.
Boom shakalaka, she's on fire. Kitchen. Oh my Kitchen.
Rules on the wall, yeah, you disobey. You gotta shout for your right to get loud. You gotta live, stand tall, be proud. You gotta fight, don't follow the crowd. Rebel noise. Turn it up right now. Turn it up right now. Dad, caught you sneaking out past 3. Says where you going, you say just me. Mom say your music way too wild, but she don't get that you born this style. Posters on the wall, speakers blasting, neighbors complain, but you still laughing. They say grow up, you say watch me. Turn every night to a party scene. They try to shut it down, but you break the sound. Heartbeat knocking like a drum so loud. You gotta shout for your right to get loud. You gotta live, stand tall, be proud. You gotta fight, don't follow the crowd. Rebel noise. Turn it up right now. No rules, no chains, no silence here. We scream it out so the whole world hears. From the basement up to the street outside, we keep that rebel rhythm alive. Hey, turn it up. Don't give up. Make it shake. Let it break.
You're going to take a baseball bat to a horseman, finish the job, because there's one rule of Dang's body. See, we are the original Dang, and we're the most vicious in all of professional wrestling history. They send one of yours to the hospital, you send one of theirs to the morgue.
Stay wild. Rebel noise. Funky juice, that party juice, that party juice, funky juice crew, that party juice, funky juice, that party juice, funky juice crew, that party juice. Yo, got this vibe that's feeling so real. Sip that mix, now you know the deal. Left foot down, right foot slide. Put your head back, enjoy the ride. Cool in the spot, and we keep it tight. Turning up loud on a Friday night. From the street to the club, we bounce. Bring that flavor, we move the crowd. At rock, chillin' like D.O.B. MCA rockin' with the funky heat. Doesn't matter where we roam, we bring that party wherever we go. Funky juice, that party juice. Funky juice groove, that party juice. Drink it cold, put it on ice. Feel that rhythm, getting nice. Chillin' out while the speakers thump. Whole crew vibing, ready to jump. Girl walks by with a confident smile. We laugh it off, just kick it a while. Pass the cup, keep it cool and clean. Just good vibes in the party scene. Step to the bar, let the good times roll. Music loud and we lose control. From the front to the back, hands up high. We keep it moving till the night go by. Beat drops hard, feel that bass. Energy jumping.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world on HBO pay-per-view. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome.
Party juice.
finally, The Rock has come back.
This is home, JR! Right here!
Home.
Stage lights. Turn it up. 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 No rest. No rest till Suffered on the gas, yeah, we mashed that pedal. Sounds so hot like
Yeah, all right. Is it great to be alive on a Sunday night or what? A very rainy Sunday night here where I'm at. Just downpour most of the day. I bid you greetings and welcome, by the way. Welcome to the end of the internet. welcome to Beyond the Walls of Ice, and welcome to the Canadas of your soul. This is it. I was bored. Come live for a little bit, I guess. Shoot the shit. Big topic, man. Tom McFarlane, hey, bud, gives his 2 cents on the hate of AI. Rob Liefeld also dropping his 2 cents on Marvel's attitude towards his New Mutants run. And you know we love our New Mutants around here. Oh, Rob's always been welcome here. Okay. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. See what old Rob has to say. Absolute Catwoman #1. As of Saturday, June 6th, which is yesterday, there have been 61, count them, 61 variant covers for Absolute Catwoman #1. We'll take a look at a couple of them. We'll see what we think. Also, speaking of covers, Tom McFarlane's toys, Marvel variant covers for Marvel Rivals. This just keeps growing and growing. The popularity of Marvel Rivals, the crossover, plus a couple other interesting items and news. Magic, the blank variant. If you have one, it might be time to sell it. All kinds of stuff. Plus, we got Reign of Ages #4 on Kickstarter going on right now. And we have the Bitcoin assassin himself right here.
What is up, Larry? How you doing, man? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me just switch the screen in OBS so they can all see you, whoever is here anyway. If there is anyone out there in the chat, by all means, feel free to say hello. You know, let us know that you're out there watching.
So, yeah, man, Reign of Ages. We are only $499 away from funding, and we're like 66% towards goal, something like that.
Oh, you know what you need to do then? Well, there's a few things that we can probably do, but we can start with having the link put in the chat.
Yeah. We can probably do that, yeah.
Yeah, and while you do that, let me bring on Loc Nguyen.
Is it Loc Nguyen?
When? I always call
When?
him like
When?
Nguyen.
What?
When is it, man? What is it?
Is my pronunciation messed up, Loc, or is it Larry's? Because we already know that the little bit of Vietnamese I know is terrible.
It's me that butchers it. I know that. Loc, of course, working hard here. Let's full screen him for a second. Look at this. Is that magic right there?
Possible. That's just my outline. Then
Well, she's got
right.
yeah, that's magic.
Yeah.
Got the little doodads in her hair and the big giant Final Fantasy sword. Yeah, that's magic.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
So is that an official set or what? What's going on there? Ooh, look at that one.
Can't show the
No,
these are thicker
Wow.
Yeah. Special
These are-
edition.
Oh, look at Cable there, man. Of course, Rob Liefeld, artist on New Mutants, the first appearance of Cable,
Yeah.
1987. Or not 1987, issue 87, I should say.
Yeah, wasn't he like 16 or 17 when he did that?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
He would have been in his teens, yeah. Like late teens. It would have been like 18, 19. Like he kind of got signed on, I think, 16, maybe 17, right? Like he wasn't an adult yet, you know what I mean?
No, he was still a minor. But I mean that's a good gig.
He was on
to
the
get.
verge of becoming an adult, but you know, he was like right around that area, right?
Yeah. I mean you got to admire it though. I mean he basically built his future before he was old enough to drink, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
There's a lot to be said for having that kind of accomplishment just on your own skill and talent.
yeah, well, apparently having skill and talent may be a thing of the past, Sam.
Well, you know,
I mean, we can save the heavy one for a little later if we want, or we can do it now.
yeah, let's save the heavy one for a little later. I
a
think
little
that
later.
we should rejoice at the moment. It is a Sunday after all.
It is.
We should take and rejoice in the talent of the artists that we work with,
Okay.
the artists we appreciate.
Okay.
We should revel in Loc's efforts and
Okay.
the accomplishments of fine professionals like Nick Capone and
Yeah.
Damian Torres.
Sure.
And you're about to name like a bunch of people I work with. Sorry.
Well, you
and
know,
yeah,
you're
Todd
allowed to be a
McFarlane.
little. You're allowed to be a little biased here. man.
I am a little biased. I am always particular to the people I work with. And I got new stuff
New stuff.
yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So you know how you and I for years, along with Max and Tyler, we had done a lot of different topics about, best practices and shopping around for quality and cost-effective production and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Is one of the topics that came up. Well, I had a ad that popped up for holochrome stickers
Okay.
Oh,
on
nice.
Google. And so I checked out the company, and the company doesn't seem to have been in operation very long, but it's in the United States. And I try to keep production within the national borders. And so I used the promotion, which was like 53-inch holochrome stickers for, I think, $26 or something like that. So about 50, 60 cents a piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got,
that looks cool.
Oh, wow. That looked really, really cool.
now that's art by Dan Donnelly,
How big is that? That's about 2.5 inches or 3 inches?
3 inches.
3 inches.
What she
There
said.
you
Dun-dun-dun.
I'm so sorry for you, Larry.
Well, that was too easy, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so sorry for you, man.
Yeah, well,
This is,
so am I, man. Fuck.
JP Bucio with colors by Nick Capone.
Yeah, I was sharp.
And then one of our bestseller, if not the best-selling sticker that we have,
Oh yeah, the psychedelic mushroom.
by
Oh,
Pete
that looks,
Vasquez.
move that around a little bit. That looks
This-
really, really cool.
These
Look
with
at the colors.
holochrome are fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And then another one by Pete. And this one, I really need to make sure I have enough of them because we're doing the Art by Humans magazine in a couple of months.
Oh,
Man,
And-
you could really cash in on this, Sam, so hard, man. You know what I mean?
Well, Art by Humans was meant to support human artists. So everything that's going on,
I mean,
who
it's
knows?
hot
Maybe.
topic, and it's not just a hot topic in comics. It's just a hot topic in general, right? In
Yeah.
gaming and with the environment, but I feel like everyone's going to go out and start attacking these data centers I keep hearing about. You know
I
what
think
mean?
the environmental subject is going to get swayed away in about a year's time. And the reason I say that is I expect SpaceX's Starship program to be deploying their AI, their first AI data centers, the ones that will be orbiting around Earth.
They're going to be in space.
Yeah, they're going to be in
Oh,
space.
Jesus Christ.
And what the thing is then they don't occupy, terrestrial space.
Because I
And they're
heard,
good.
right? And you just see this weird shit on Facebook, and it's all garbage, right? But
Mhm.
China's going to build AI data centers in the ocean, to keep them cool.
actually,
Well-
that word would work better.
That's actually already happened too. Google did that about 6 years ago. And the early onset part of the pandemic, it's off the East Coast of the United States, but they ended up shutting down the program because of the expense of it. It turns out that when you have data centers underwater, while the cooling is much, much easier, the whole problem with the pressure
In the salt.
and the salination effects on the structure. Yeah. Submersible habitats have always been like a really, not always, but probably since like the 1950s, have always been one of those really cool sci-fi things that people look at. And we've got, in certain parts of the world, you've got submerged hotels, and they, without a single exception, run at a really, really high premium for maintenance. Because when you've got the tidal forces of the ocean putting pressure on your architecture, you're going to eventually see leaks. And humans don't do well underwater.
No, we tend
So-
to drown.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
So, I'd say ask the people who were on the Titanic, but
Well, Jesus Christ, Sam.
the grim humor with me has been a thing this weekend. My neighbor asked me if, what happened with the guy behind us, and I was like, well, he got shot. And he's like, that's a little cold, don't you think? I'm like, it's just true. He got shot. We had our neighbor behind us got shot last year. He opened fire on police, and
That's not a very.
it was not a sustainable. It was not a sustainable lifestyle. Um,
The United States is crazy, dude. I just saying, man.
yeah, don't decide to open fire on people in Kentucky. That's just not a good plan.
Just don't
Um,
open fire on anybody.
Well,
Yeah,
one would
because
think, right? You know, but
we've had people who've actually come in from other states, most notably California, and decided they were going to like rob a grocery store or a gas station, and then actually have the nerve to be surprised when 3 or 4 patrons in the store just
Pull out their weapon.
just light them up. Um, because yeah, we don't really, that doesn't really go very well. And we had
No,
another guy
no.
from, I think he was from New York. Was it 2024? I think it was. He pulled a gun on some guys in front of a little family store here in Kentucky, and the lady behind the cash register shot him right in the back of the head because he was pointing the gun at her grandson. She just ended that threat real quick.
Oh yeah.
So
wild, man. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I mean,
yes. We can discuss body counts another day.
Jesus, body count, iced tea.
Of course.
All
Of
right,
course.
so let's get on track here, man.
He's an American icon, man. He's a freaking treasure.
So if this is your first time watching, we tend to go on tangents here and there. So you know, it will happen, right? But what we mainly do is talk comics and inside baseball of comics, and we watch Loc draw all my favorite characters that I'll never own the art for. You know.
I will never own the art myself either. So
Yeah, no, because these go out in card packs for like upper deck and tops and things of that nature, and they're like one-on-ones. These are the things that people like, you know, make videos for ripping, trying to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man. You know, one of these days, I am going to like, you know, just find like a set, you know, that Loc's cards are in, and they'll be like $20 a pack. They're like, these things aren't cheap, man.
No,
And
they're not.
No, they're not. You know.
Holy smokes.
And then like, you know, I'm gonna gamble on one pack and just hope I get, you know, Loc's magic card. You know?
So the thing is, these thicker cards, you're paying more, right?
Right.
They're the thicker ones. These are like special edition, it's like special edition product. You know what I mean? They're like really thick, right? So what ended up happening is you're gonna like the last one I did with the Star Wars Masterwork, the one that was just released, but I did that about a year ago. That's going for like $2,000 a box. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Damn.
Right? Yeah, it's crazy.
The world of
I don't know,
cards
like
is
I don't know how these breakers can afford these,
you know,
where
I
they're
keep
buying
thinking,
cases and cases of it, right?
well, this is it, man. I mean, at some point, you think that bubble is going to burst. So we've all seen things grow to the point of no return, and then pop. You know,
Yeah.
like the
It's
card
nuts.
business is insane. Any show I've been at in the last couple of years, it's all about fucking Pokemon cards and things of the like. You know.
Yeah, it's just nuts.
Man, and no slowing down, Loc. You're busy. You got lots of work.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. I'm actually turning down a lot of the tops work because I can't keep up. They're asking for more, and so I'm only taking on like special edition ones where there's a limited of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's better than the actual. You know, I think they're releasing almost every 3 months or something like that, 3-4 months. So there's gonna be a lot of Marvel's announcement. I think July 1st is the next one.
Yeah.
That's another Marvel set I worked on, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So
Well, big summer, right, for comics
Yeah.
in a way, because you got, you know, the Marvel movies coming out. You know, it's
yeah,
you know, we just had Masters of the Universe hit over the weekend.
yeah, I need to go see that. That looks like a lot of fun.
You know, you got Spider-Man, Supergirl, the Avengers,
Supergirl, I need to go see.
right? Dune 3. People keep forgetting Dune 3. I haven't forgotten.
Oh yeah, fuck.
You know, just a slew of movies. Too bad though. I guess reportedly He-Man not doing so well at the box office. Yeah.
Yeah, but that could be like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's not because the movie sucks. The people that have gone to seen the movie, that reviews that I've seen, right? If they were around in the 80s, they seem to appreciate it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a movie that really taps into that pretty hard.
Yeah, the campy. I remember being campy, so that's.
Right?
I'm
So,
hoping that's what it is.
being a kid of the 80s, and I know they lean into it hard because I'm all spoiled to the movie. This is why I'm not actually in a rush to go see it now. You know what I mean? I've heard so much about it. I feel like I've already watched it, but yeah, for me, I think that's one I think the reason why it's not doing well is the same reason why a lot of movies maybe not be just doing as well, because I just don't think people are rushing to the theater anymore.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well,
That's all I think. It's like, I think it has to be something monument. Like the big fucking deal for like people to want to spend the money to go to the theater.
yeah. And also, it's going to cost you like $20 just to drive down the street now instead of.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, going to the theater is a very expensive endeavor. That's why people just aren't rushing to go see every little thing anymore.
Yeah.
With the internet, it really makes accessibility to these things easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think the internet really killed a lot of forms of entertainment, though. In many ways, print media. The way we go see movies, the way everything is sort of digital now versus physical, right? It just is. It is what it is, man. Sam Quinton's got Reign of Ages #4, by the way, guys, ladies and gentlemen, up on Kickstarter. What I noticed, Sam, was a significantly sort of shorter campaign. You're mute.
You're mute. You're on mute there.
I got it on the wrong mic again.
There you go.
Damn it. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, yeah, we only need $1,500 because we are already completely done. All the personnel have been paid. We're just getting everything printed and shipped out to the fans. And I should have the script for issue 5 done this week and over to Nick. And we'll go ahead and get to work on that. And that will be the conclusion of the introductory story arc, the Blood and Stone arc. And then probably right before we launch that crowdfunding campaign later this year, I'll get the script for issue 6 over to the artist who's taking over interiors for that. And we'll get to work on putting out more Reign of Ages. But we've also got work coming in, I believe today, from Damian Torres. So really, really looking forward to that. That is going to be, I think, a big deal because we are putting out an art print celebrating the 4th of July. And the idea is to have a very, very short campaign, probably on BackerKit or Fund My Comic. I'd like to do it on Kickstarter, but the calendar just isn't going to work for me for that, Mm-hmm. So we're going to actually be ordering the production run probably this coming week. So either before or right as that campaign launches. So that's going to be an interesting experiment, I guess. But we'll have that in, get it shipped out to everybody, hopefully before the 4th.
There you go.
So,
And that's only going to be like a 7-day campaign.
So when do you sleep, Sam?
Yeah.
I actually took a nap this afternoon.
Yeah, I woke him up saying who's around tonight if we do something,
Yeah, Willow was like, Daddy, Larry's messaging you. I'm like,
The angry
what?
Canadian.
Yeah, she just calls you Larry. It's the people I meet randomly at the Kroger in Frankfort, Kentucky. He was like, you were on with the angry Canadian.
So Tom McFarlane is he's going to be talked about a couple of times here tonight. This one relatively light though. Tom McFarlane Toys, Marvel variant covers for Marvel Rivals. Now anyone that watches this channel knows I play the game. Big fan. So what we have here is ahead of the spring release of McFarlane Toys, Marvel Rivals Collection, Marvel Comics will spotlight the collectible items on a series of variant covers across their comic book titles this July. So these may be things, if you're a big fan of the game, maybe you want to look out for. It's basically front page over on your comic books, but this Marvel comic could be worth $2,500 to you or something about a bicycle. I don't know what this is all about. But, I mean, here's the covers. We got Doctor Strange, number 8, right there. We got the Mortal Thor, number 12, right there. Now, these look more like statues than toys, you know what I mean? Like action. Jeff the Land Shark. I think this one's going to be a popular hit amongst people. Right there. Avengers Armageddon, number 2. Captain America, right there. And last but certainly not least, X-Men 33 with Magneto, right there.
Wow. Those are great looking.
Yeah, these are out in July. Now, I don't know.
That's really beautiful.
They're kind of cool. I mean, I'd rather have seen a few different characters on here. You know, of course, I'm going to say Magic. I think if you would have dropped a Luna on here, that would be a smash hit, right? Like, you know, just judging by who the most popular characters are in the game, right? Because you want fans of the game to come over and pick up these comics because of, you know.
I think my favorite there is the Doctor Strange, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I really like that one.
My favorite is Jeff the Land Shark.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go with Jeff. I mean, you know, that's money. That's fucking printing money right there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's literally printing money right there.
Every time I draw a card, it doesn't last very long.
No, I bet it doesn't, dude. You know, I mean, these characters here, like Captain America and Magneto, they've been around for so long. Everyone knows who they are, right? So they're not really, like, as far as I'm concerned, special to the game. Jeff the Land Shark is. I mean, Jeff's been around before the game, but it's the game that made Jeff the Land Shark popular. These guys were already household names before, you know, but not Jeff the Land Shark, right? Not Thor, not Doctor Strange. That's why I'm suggesting like the Luna Snows and the Jeffs and the Penny Parkers and stuff. These characters that got more spotlight because the game gave it to them, you know. And Jeff's one of them, right? I never knew who the fuck Jeff the Land Shark was until Marvel Rivals. So I'm just being, you know, honest. And I've been collecting comics for, you know, 30 some odd years. You know what I mean? So we got that going on. But we also got Rob Liefeld. We love our Rob around here. And, of course, Rob is never short on words of things to say, especially things that he was a part of back in the day. You know, whether Rob is, you know, overconfident or arrogant or bodacious, however you want to describe him, he's kind of entertaining to listen to and to watch. You know what I mean? So here, Rob Liefeld blasts Marvel's New Mutants Omnibus number 4 credits for listed him as artist but not writer. Okay. Liefeld says his New Mutants run introduced Cable, Deadpool, and Domino and drove the title to huge sales. He argues Marvel is using his covers to sell the omnibuses while downplaying his writing and creator legacy. Liefeld says Marvel has a long history of mistreating creators, citing Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, and more. Yeah, I didn't know that he wrote any of these stories, though. That's kind of interesting. But maybe we'll learn more here when we go through this a little bit. This is all on Twitter. I saw this sort of start to pop up the other day, and I'm just glad that they're going to put it all together here for us in one sort of blurb. So he says, and I'm not going to do the voice for all this because there's a lot here. You know what I mean?
You're going to need some lunges afterwards.
Right? So he says, pull up a chair for a story with Rob. Yes, many of you across the socials, in fact, have sent me this solicitation from Marvel for my New Mutants Omnibus collection. Your name is not listed in the writer's credits, yet despite writing the best-selling issues of New Mutants ever published, I am not listed. Maybe I'm more. I wrote in the 3 most successful best-selling issues. Credit me. Anything else is disrespect and diminishing. I didn't have a story told to me and dialogue it from directions. Nice try, though. Marvel is utilizing both my covers to maximize the sales of the collection while attempting to downplay the most significant works in the collection. It is an attempt to diminish the transforming influence of the work I did. I say this with confidence and pride. Did I mention I was 22? There's the age right there. 22 when this was happening. The book was a turd. Everyone in the comic store knew it. All you had to do was listen. I reluctantly joined, knowing I had to take over as writer, and this was agreed to, but it took months to accomplish. I knew I had to prove and set out to justify the faith I had leveraged. For history buffs, New Mutants was a dumpster fire when I agreed to accept the assignment. You can do anything you want with it because we're about to cancel it. I took the comic to #1, outselling Claremont and Lee's X-Men with no variant covers and no gimmicks or enhancements. But yet, you did have Bird Brain, Rob. You guys remember Bird Brain? I remember Bird Brain. This was a turnaround not seen since Frank Miller on Daredevil a decade earlier. My impact on New Mutants as a writer was as a writer. The problem with the book prior to me was the writing. It was through my writing that issues 98 to 100 sold 2.2 million copies. Yeah, we don't see that anymore. This is more than the entire year previous to my joining. New Mutants was selling around 100,000, 110,000 copies in a sea of X books selling more than 350,000 copies and above. This is when comic books was on fire, clearly, right? Again, we're going back to the 90s. We're going back to we're almost like success was 1 million copies. You know what I mean? Now success is like 20,000 copies. There's a big difference in the sales numbers from these generations and from what Rob is talking about, because I would say to this, if Rob was to start over and join New Mutants now, you're not selling 2.2 million copies, my friend. You're just not. You know what I mean? It's a different time and day of age, right? That's what I would say there. Just put it simply, if this were a courtroom and Marvel asked, what was the New Mutant status in the X office and the industry at large before and after Liefeld, the answer would reflect all of I shared. What was the status after Liefeld? His legacy as a penciler or as a writer and creator. I'll win this argument every time, anytime, in every courtroom. In closing, Marvel treats its creators like shit. They always have. Jack Kirby sued them. For 2 decades, the estate wants to sweep it underneath the rug now that they settled, but it turned Jack's stomach. Steve Ditko sued Marvel. They can't help but create the magic makers like shit. I'll continue to speak the truth about how crap their product is and continue to, regardless of shenanigans like this. They simply cannot help but be put the worst versions of themselves out at all times. The fight is what fuels me every day. These clowns at Marvel never learn. That's a lot. That's a lot. Of Rob. That's a lot of Rob right there. You know what I mean? But there's some truth to it. I think what people sort of don't like about Rob is presentation, right? Rob's aggressive, and I know something about that. I have that in me too, especially when you think you're being slighted, right? You cannot diminish, and I agree with Rob, what he brought to New Mutants, because I remember when he came on board, it was a big deal. Deadpool was a big deal. Cable was a big deal. They're still big deals today. That's why we keep hearing about those characters, especially Deadpool. I mean, Cable is not at the Deadpool level, but he's pretty fucking close. I would say, right? When they put Cable and Marvel Rivals, that would be a huge deal. That'd be a huge deal. They already got Deadpool in there. Cable's got to be around the corner. Of course, Cable will also be a big part, I'm sure, of X-Men 97 season 2, as he was in the first one. So Cable and Deadpool still continue to print money. I remember buying, Rob Liefeld's New Mutant run. What they don't mention is the worst character ever in existence was Bird Brain. And if I show you Bird Brain, you guys remember Bird Brain? No, you guys have like those Simpsons fish eyes where you just blink when you don't know something.
Yeah, that's what they are.
I don't know that one.
I know that one.
Right. So I'm gonna show you Bird Brain. This also has to be credited to Rob Liefeld. So Bird Brain is this creature. Right
Oh
here.
God, yeah, I remember this.
Oh yeah. That I'm gonna crawl back in my corner.
That's so terrible.
Bird Brain, man. So, when do we get Bird Brain in Marvel Rivals? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean?
Hopefully we don't.
Hopefully we.
I say that as someone who doesn't even play the game.
But that's the type of really oddball character actually that I can actually see them dumping into the game at some point. You know, like a character that no one knows, right? And then all of a sudden becomes like this weird hit. You know, it could happen, man. Stranger things in this world, my friends. You know what I mean? We got Blight Blazer here in the chat tonight. What's going on, Blight? What's up? We're just scrolling through a little bit of the news that I picked up here today, just to get the ball rolling. There's a big AI topic coming up. I figure we'll save that for a little bit. Next one up. Let's just kind of crank through them. 61 absolute Catwoman #1 variant covers and Loc. That's just so far. What do you think?
Which one? 61?
Is 61 too much already?
Yeah, that's a little much.
Right.
I'm that's all I see is that my LCS is absolute Batman is taking up like 2 rows now or something like that.
Right.
And I think that's way too much. And I think it's like, okay, so what printing is this? Oh, this is the 16th printing.
Yo, dude, there's like no shit, right?
Right. I'm like, holy crap.
So to be fair, right, with these covers, a lot of them are exclusives, right? Only 8 of them are going to be like ones that you're going to be able to pick up at the shop. But still, 8's quite a bit, But it is a #1. It is the absolute universe. And like you said, it is on fire, okay? So absolute Catwoman #1 launches with 61 variant covers, including 8 standard editions and a wave of exclusives. The core absolute Catwoman #1 covers include cardstock, foil, blank, virgin, and a 1 out of 1 in 25 Mateus variant. Retailer exclusive absolute Catwoman #1 variant spotlight artists like Ed Benes, Derek Chu, David Mack, and more. I'm sure Jim Ballant. If they didn't give Jim Ballant a fucking cover, I'll be pissed. You know what I mean? He's the one that brought Catwoman to life in the 90s, going back to the 90s. From 616 Comics to Unknown Comics in Midtown, absolute Catwoman #1 exclusives keep growing ahead of its release. So a lot of these, now that's David Nakamura there. A lot of these are going to be, I find a lot of them are rather plain. Like they're pin-up-y. You know what I mean? Very, most of them are going to be pin-up-y. That one's odd. There's the blank. Loc, how many of those do you think you're going to get?
Probably already 3. I think I already have 3 on order.
Yeah, you might want to get more.
I'm okay.
Well,
I'm running out of space.
I suspect that the blanks are going to be relatively rare compared to everything else, just like the Magic one is, and that's why it's going for $80 on eBay.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Crazy, right? You got this one.
I like that one, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know, like, when I go through these, if you see one that you really, think is sort of the best,
I just don't like the composition on that one.
This one almost looks like action figure-y.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of these don't really stand out to me all that much. It's a lot of, here's a picture of her with the fishbowl, That one's kind of cool. That one.
Yeah, I like that
this
one.
This is a swipe of something, though.
That looks like
it looks really familiar.
The Japanese Appleseed.
Yeah.
Something like that for sure, right?
Because that's what's her name is. Yeah, the lieutenant there.
Maybe like Ghost in the Shell vibe or something.
Yeah, that's the one. There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome. I like this one because the reflection of Batman in the bowl is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now, was this? This gotta be. I was gonna say Frank Cho, but that's not. I like the digital thing going on here. See, the thing about the new Catwoman is that she's a high tech thief, right? She's using
Yeah.
very cyberpunk like gadgets and gear, and that's
The robot tail and all that. Yeah.
that's her whole deal, right? I am getting number one. It's I asked them to put a copy away for me. I think what I may have to do is actually see if they're getting any blanks and if I can get a hold of one of those. It's absolute madness. This absolute Batman, absolute DC line. A lot of people are kind of giving credit to kind of single-handedly carrying comics through 2026 right now. You think that has any truth to it, Loc? What do you think?
I don't know. I really don't know. I only show up my LCS, grab my stuff, and leave.
Right, but you did mention 2 rows of absolute Batman.
Yeah, when you see that kind of stuff, I think it's very overwhelming. It's kind of nice that it's at the LCS, but for me to get to my LCS, it's like a 15-minute drive. It's not that close.
The whole 15 minutes?
Well, it's you know what I mean. It's one of those where it's not accessible. It's like in some industrial part of.
Yeah, you gotta go out of your way for it. I get you.
Right, because it's as cheap as rent, and like it's one of those where I want to see more of the books at the dollar store or at Walmart or something like that, where kids can actually get to it and pick it up. Because every time I walk in there, they're all my age. You know what I mean? we're in our 40s and our 50s buying like 3 copies of Absolute Batman. You know what I mean? I feel like the people that's keeping it afloat is the people who buying multiple versions of it.
This is it, man.
Right? Compared to somebody like brand new coming off the street. You know what I mean? That is my only issue with that. But other than that, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, it's the hottest item, but I have a funny feeling it's more hype than anything else.
Sam, have you ever checked out any of the Absolute stuff at all? Have you even perused it at all?
Not much. I looked a little bit at Absolute Batman. I looked a little bit at Absolute Wonder Woman, but I had particular things I was looking for. I was doing a little bit more of an analysis than I was reading for fun.
Like now that you've discovered this LCS, do you think that like your comic book buying is going to pick up, or do you think
Yeah, because I don't have to drive an hour and a half to go get comics and come back. So yeah.
So now that you have like a comic book shop near you, right? Like, is there stuff that you like want to collect runs of? Or are you just sort of like picking and choosing certain things? Like, what do you what's the strategy when Sam walks into a comic book shop?
So I'm going to let me grab something real quick. The books I picked up that not this week but last week, a couple of those I'm definitely gonna get the next issue of, because I want to see how those series are gonna run. Oops, I grabbed the wrong one. My daughter Willow, when I took her yesterday, she picked up Amazing Spider-Man. They're doing the reprints,
Right.
She picked up Amazing Spider-Man and she's loving it. And then of course it's a reprint of an issue from I think in the 1960s, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're going back that far, that'd be like the original sort of Stan Lee's.
Yeah, and she absolutely loves it. She picked up a couple other titles, but I think that for me, I'm probably going to continue with Space Ghost. The one fantasy title that I picked up, the name is escaping me at the moment. I'm probably going to go ahead and continue with that. I only picked up the Magic the Gathering one basically because I thought the cover was kind of cool and I wanted to check it out. That's probably not going to be a regular thing. And I'll still keep looking.
They got you, Sam. They threw out a variant and they got you.
Now, I will tell you what I will be doing, though, is I'm going to make sure that I get some of the Anarch Press stuff coming out that I want. Specifically, if if we ever see the reprint on Tibby 1,
Mm.
because I never got I never got a copy of it. They sold everything. No one got comps on it. So that's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But then Diamond went bankrupt and the reprint orders just
Well,
vanished,
listen,
right?
let's
So-
put a call out there. Anyone that's got a copy of Tibby and her psychedelic time traveling mushroom, you want to give it up to Sam? Let us know. You know, he would like to have a copy.
yeah, if you've got one,
Well, I'm
let
sure
me
there's
know.
one on eBay, man. There's got to be one on eBay.
Well, there was one on eBay, but I'm gonna tell you, I was not looking at that. It was. Let me go ahead and pull it up because it was the foil.
eBay up right here, man.
It was the foil version.
Tibby and
And
her.
time traveling,
I mean,
psychedelic mushrooms foil. But it's still $35. The Antarctic Press cover. This is the fun one. The Antarctic Press cover is like $13, and now the weird thing is that the Kickstarter cover is down to like $5 and $10, sometimes more, sometimes less, right? But the funny part about that is we actually printed more books for the Kickstarter than our Antarctic Press did for the main production release. So, but yeah, man, there's another one on here. Oh crap!
Am I
That's
back?
$129 for the foil that we released for the
Right?
Kickstarter.
Look at that, man. It's 180 here in Canadian money.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at real money.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. This one here, almost $50 Canadian, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how much your book is being flipped for, you know?
I know, right?
I mean, this would be the one to get, though, right here. Because you get both, right? That's as cheap as I've seen it right there.
Yeah, I haven't seen it that low.
The Larry Joe, 100% positive feedback, though. So I would say that's a legit real deal there.
Yeah.
That might be the only way you're going to get your own book, dude. You know what I mean?
Isn't that weird? I have to buy my own book on eBay.
You know. But
Plus-
it
plus-
ranges from price, but that's the best deal right there was what we
Plus
just-
$11 for shipping.
right now. If we would just want to see like has any sold, like it's one thing to list something, it's a whole other thing to see what they sell for.
Yeah, yeah.
So this one was one bid for about 20 Canadian. A lot of them are just going for like $5 here, Sam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these ones here.
Like I said, it's weird, man. It's weird to see.
But you know how long ago were these sales too? Let's see.
There's no telling.
Oh, there is telling. March, April, May. This one just sold last month, and same with this one.
Yeah, the Kickstarter covers. It's like I said, it's weird. The Kickstarter covers are going for less than the Anarch press release. And it wasn't that, you know, the Kickstarter covers were going for $25, $30 at one point before the Anarch press release went out.
So here's
Wild, right?
these are still in the sold listings here that I'm on. I think, yeah. Magic blank variant lock, 83.61 Canadian.
Holy
That's
cow.
crazy.
And that's not the only one that was in here. There's a
Oh, but that's Canadian money, right?
yeah, it's still like 60
it's Canadian.
bucks.
Yeah.
This one here, 69.67. Someone got a deal here for 20 bucks. 104.51. You know.
Wow.
Some guy posted on some guy posted on Facebook. He's like I got like 75 copies of this.
holy shit. Is it because the animation is coming out? Is that why?
No, it's just because it's rare. You know, it was a second printing. Like they didn't do a blank variant for the first printing of the book, right? And people
Right.
kind of wanted one. And so they did a second printing, and you know, Magic the blank variant came out. And I just think you know, it would have been probably a relatively low print run compared to everything else because it's a second print, it's a blank variant. But on top of that, just the popularity of the character keeps sort of increasing and increasing and increasing. Yeah, I mean, look what you got going on right there. You know,
I haven't
boom,
finished
right?
it, but still
Uh,
inking away
You're
at it.
drawing on an $80 book right now. You know what I mean?
Oh shoot! Oh well,
But
it's
your
now
drawing is going to make it like a fucking $300 book. You know,
and now it's $5
now it's $5.
because of the drawing.
But it's
Well,
you know, pretty
Okay,
wild
so
to
I
see this.
cheated.
Okay, how
I,
so?
I cheated because I just got a royalty payment this week from Comics Mainstream Distribution. Shout out to Adam Watson. So he's out there selling Tibby and 47 and Reign of Ages and all that. I just used the royalty payment to buy my own damn book off of eBay. Ain't that fucked up?
What'd you do? Get the one, the foil and the normal?
It's the cheapest I've seen it.
It
so
is
yeah.
the cheapest, yeah, dude.
So long as they're in decent shape, it'll be all right.
Well, congratulations on that, Sam. You
I'll get my own book. Yay.
help feed the economy. You know? This is it,
That's
man.
wild, man. That's wild. I should reach out to the guy. Say, hey, man, if you get any more, let me know, and I'll sell them. I'll sign them for you.
So again, here's another look at what Sam just picked up. I still have the
Damn,
window open. So
That's what I should be doing. I should be signing books for these people.
Yeah.
let's actually look at the condition.
Yeah, I didn't see anything too terrible on it. Little ding on the corner, but not a big deal.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
How about the foil? Foil's probably pretty sharp.
Yeah, I didn't really notice anything on the foil.
It is pretty shiny, I got to tell you, man. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I haven't seen it in person yet. We'll see.
Oh, you haven't even seen it in person.
No, man. I went down to the comic shop in Lexington when it released, and they had all sold out by the time I got there.
Oh, bummer, dude.
I took the afternoon off to get down so that I would be there to sign books for people if they wanted the signature, and everyone had already picked all of them up and left. And I was
This
like,
item is
man,
out of stock. Sam just bought it.
Sam just bought it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
refreshed the page to see what would happen, see if it would tell me if it was sold or not. It is sold. It's out of stock, man.
There we go.
There you go, Sam. You got your book.
Yep. Big shout out to Comics Mainstream Distribution for selling my other books so I could buy my book.
All right. Let's
How's that for weird, Loc, huh?
right?
Yeah, I know. That's just,
Let's do this. Let's get into a conversation here. Let's see. It's Todd McFarlane, much like Rob Liefeld, right? Is an outspoken guy. You know, he you know, he's at that age, I think, where he just doesn't mind just sharing his opinion. He don't does kind of like I don't know if it's fuck you money sort of attitude.
I think it very definitely comes from a position of fuck you money. I think that's definitely a thing. But also he's seen it all, in the comic industry. But he's made so much money in toys and continues to do so that honestly, I think that anyone who wants to learn about how to make money in entertainment, when Todd McFarlane speaks, you should probably listen. You don't have to agree with him, but you should probably listen to what he has to say.
There's our chat. I'm going to move that over to the other monitor so it's not in the way if I want to look at it. All right, let's play the tape.
What are your opinions on AI, specifically in artistic spaces?
For me, I don't get why people are so worked up. I don't get it.
You don't get why people are upset about it?
Yeah.
This take by Todd McFarlane is upsetting, but it is not surprising. He went on the Escape podcast and basically says he doesn't understand the big idea behind AI art, as he merely sees it as a tool. It's an evolution. He said, why aren't we crying for the people that made VHS now that DVD came along? Why aren't we crying for wagons when cars came along? Because at the end of the day, what he's really worried about is efficiency. How efficient and how much money can they save in making the art?
It's a little bit upset. They're thinking that they're stealing artwork or something like that. I swear to you, there's an efficiency there. We were talking about people in animation. I still
Maybe
need
a better
pirate.
version of that.
Hey, it's a Hassan Piker. Aren't we supposed to be looking for that guy?
I don't even know who he is. I keep hearing the name.
Yeah, he's a leftist streamer poser guy, pseudo communist.
Well, he might be the only source of this right now because I don't know where else the video is. Because I heard this earlier. Let me try this one.
What are your opinions?
I know him because I watched a PsyOp anime video about it, and I see him on.
I don't get what the big why people are so worked up.
Other,
I don't get it.
You don't get why people are upset about it?
Yeah, I don't, and here's why. Like, they're a tool. It's a tool, and we can break down this tool in a minute, and I will. But if we just look at it as an efficiency, it's a tool that's efficient. Every tool that's come along in the history of mankind put somebody out of business, right? Somebody along the line was selling a lot of buckboard wagons, and then somebody said, I'm going to invent a car. And then it's like, okay, why don't we worry? Why don't we cry for them, right? So then all of a sudden the word processor came up, and now they're selling less pencils, right? Because like, why? We don't need pencils anymore. We can just do it on here. Matter of fact, we don't even need paper. We can just do it on here and send it in digital. And we didn't cry for them, right? So there used to be VHSs, and then it went to DVDs, and now you can just stream it, right? The people who are making DVDs are out of business for the most part. 90% of them don't exist. Why don't we cry for them? Yeah. So if there's an efficiency, the problem with any new tool, is it can be used for both good and bad. So I can give you a hammer, and you can either build me a house or you can bludgeon me over the head with it. Same tool, right? So I think what the people maybe at times are getting a little bit upset are that they're thinking that they're stealing artwork or something like that. But I swear to you, there's an efficiency there. We are just talking to a couple people in the animation. I still need to hire you, and I need you to do some gun designs for me. If you want to use that tool, you don't have to. If you're great, you don't have to. But if you want to use that tool, you can now give me 20 options. I need you to show me at the end of the day your weapons. You can give me 20 options, and I got 20 to look at, and I can pick the 2 best. If I leave it to you and you got to hand draw every single one of them and you don't got any kind of guidance, you're going to give me 3. And if all 3 of them are mediocre, I am stuck with mediocrity from you. But if you can give me 20 with a little bit of help, shoot, we're going to come up with a cool looking gun in the animation show we're doing or something like that. But I don't know. At some point, art is art. And if you go, hey, there's one that's super cool over there, and there's one that's really mediocre. That one was AI assisted, and that one wasn't. I don't know. Some people might want the cool one. Yeah. Right? Like, why do you got to take mediocre stuff? Because that's all you have. People ask at times to go, why did they make that movie? That was a dumb movie. I'll tell you why they made that movie, ladies and gentlemen. Because the studios have a quota. And the studios here in Hollywood have to, let's just pick a number, 50. They have to make 50 movies. In their studio, they have to make 50. If they get 400 pitches, and they get 400 good ideas, this is awesome. They get to pick the 50 best. But what if 1 year they only get 20 good ideas? They got to make 50 movies still. So now they got to make movies that aren't so cool. And those are the ones you go, why'd they make that? Because they have to make it because they have to make X amount of dollars, and they have to put out stuff, and they have schedules and everything else. And if they didn't get creative people to give them good ideas, they still got to make stuff, right? But then people are going, why am I watching mediocre stuff, right? I don't know. It's weird to me that we are somehow saying that we...
What are your opinions on AI, specifically in artistic spaces?
That's probably as most as we're going to get from that. So, you know, he kind of brings up things I've heard before, right? Like when art went from traditional to digital, you know. There was an uproar over that, actually. I remember, you know, digital art is cheating, and why are you doing that? And why don't you learn how to really draw, you know? I think he's sort of making that same argument. But Sam, you're the guy that I want to throw the ball to first, because you are the one that's doing the magazine, you know, Art by Humans. So, you know, obviously you have a stance. I'm sure that you have an opinion, and you know, you share whatever it is you want to share. You know.
Okay. So it's a little complicated, so it's gonna be a little long-winded. Just forewarning you guys.
Expect nothing less of you, Sam.
Appreciate that, Larry. Appreciate that. So here's the thing. One of the big concerns that I hear a lot from artists is that the trained on human artworks, right? They look at the technique that's used in particular art styles and then try to replicate that. Now, the counter argument you hear from a lot of folks is that there is functionally not much of a difference between that and a human learning to draw about it, but except that there really is. There's years of training that goes into a human learning to adapt technique to render, you know, high quality images, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if I could learn how to do this in 10 minutes, then I would save, you know, $8,000 an issue and just draw my own books, right? But that being said, there is a few. There are a few avenues where I'd say there's an ethical use of AI in art. And I've referenced this before, and it was a couple of years ago when AI was really starting to show that it had potential to be used in artistic spaces. There's a Japanese mangaka who took and loaded up his backgrounds that he drew throughout his entire manga career into a particular LLM, into a large language model. And the only thing for art that that particular LLM was trained on was his art. Now, I'm not sure how he pulled that off, who he knew, how he got a hold of that code himself individually. But he specifically trained the model on his art. And then what he would do is he would then go in and have the model draw up the backgrounds, and then he would make corrections that needed to be corrected. So that it's replicating his art, and then he's making some changes on it. I can consider that an ethical use because he's not taking elements from anyone else and ripping that off for it. Now, the other side of this is that you have people who are drawing their own work, and then they're using different AI empowered tool sets to help animate it. They're still having to go in and make fine point corrections, fix the number of fingers. That's less and less of an issue these days, though. Smooth out some of the movement, correct some of the anatomical problems that AI doesn't yet really fully understand in a lot of cases, especially for non-traditional human characters, like something that has multiple arms, for example, or like a centaur or something like that. And of course, certainly it's monstrous things like a chimera, manicore, what have you. Making those corrections and those changes then has the effect of also teaching the AI what it is you're looking for, right? And so that tool set kind of works hand in hand. And so that kind of falls into the use I think we see what Todd's arguing for. My particular position is probably not the most logical one. I firmly believe that we should keep as much humans in art as possible. So when it comes to commercial work, everything's human made, right? If the human artist is utilizing AI to do color corrections or something like that, I really don't have a problem with that. It's a tool that they're using to make changes to their own work. I can get behind that. But if they're using something like, hey, I don't know how to draw Stephen Strange, let me go ahead and have Grok or whatever draw Stephen Strange and I'll trace over it, I have a problem with that. Because you're not really creating the art yourself. You're just basically copying out other people's work. And if that were going to be the case, I'd want to hire the other people you were copying rather than you. You see what I'm saying? There's also an issue for me personally with regard to copyright capabilities for art. Now, there's a whole lot of arguments still going on in this vein. My personal opinion, and I'm going to say this personal and not legal opinion because I'm a paralegal, not an attorney. So I, by law in Kentucky, cannot interpret statute or rule of law. But my personal opinion as a businessman is that I would rather have an ethical stance, be paying people a fair rate, and not have to worry about my intellectual property being stolen because my copyright was invalidated, right? I think there's a lot to be said for that. Art by humans, same thing. When we get that out, of course, all the pieces that are in that were done by human hands. Some of those pieces are older pieces that were done in like 2018, 2019, 2020. There's stuff from a few different years that's in there that were done prior to AI having the capability even really to produce stuff of this quality. So that's not much of an issue. But I think one of the things I'm seeing even now is I've got people who will DM me, and it seems to be particular on Blue Sky most prominently, and then to a lesser extent on Twitter/X, where they're sending stuff that they're like, oh yeah, this is the work I've done, but it has the watermark from the AI that they're using to generate it. I don't even need to run it through a process to test it. I mean, the AI is labeling its work. Why am I going to pay a prompt jockey? Sorry for the slur. Why am I going to pay a prompt jockey for AI work? That's ridiculously dumb. I'm as a writer, I can do that probably faster than they can. Here's a good point, right? Let me send you something. I was working. I had an idea yesterday, and I bounced it off Willow, and so we were working on a new title. I know, sounds wild, right, Sam? Working on a new title, heaven forbid.
Jeez.
And so I know, right? It's not like I don't.
That's because you had a nap today.
All right.
So I'm not going to tell you the style of it, but it involves a power transformation, right? So Larry, I'm going to send this to you, and you'll see. I went and I put it into Grok to see what that might look like as far as what I was conceptualizing as to how it looked how it played. You should have that in your Facebook chat.
You want me to bring this up?
We'll take a look at it first to see if you want to show it on the stream or not. But
yeah, there's nothing to it.
Okay. So yeah, you can show it. So I use this as a tool to test against what my concept might look like when we put it into images, right? And so this is my magical girl power up. So instead of princess dresses and magic tiaras, she gets an M4 and body armor. Well, you know,
it's a crazy world out there, Sam. You know what I mean?
I mean, I find it perfectly sane. I've got a revolver over there. I've got a handgun right here.
Okay.
I've got rifles over there.
So,
I mean, it's just normal American stuff.
Going back to the AI here, though, for a second,
See, that was a useful tool for me as a writer, right? Because and as a publisher, because it took and it let me see what my concept might possibly look like in that transformation sequence. And it could from that, I can say, okay, from a visual aspect, maybe we need to move that Second Amendment text so it's playing in front of the character, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to make some changes to those ghostly figures of American revolutionary heroes and such, and move them up so they're more prominent in that negative space, that kind of thing. So is that the correct terminology I'm looking for? Because I don't have my normal friendly help team around me to correct my lack of technical terms for art.
Yeah, you're basically creating a concept and ideas from using the AI to storyboard. It's basically you're storyboarding out your idea.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think, Loc? Todd McFarlane there on this stand.
Todd, I feel like Todd is a boomer sometimes.
Right?
Because he complained a lot when he was doing stuff for Marvel back in the day.
Where's
so
my
let's say
plaque,
AI
bud?
came out and he lost his job, right?
He walked out.
Yeah, I mean, if AI was back then, see, he's now a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at the bottom dollar. Mm-hmm. If he can not pay another artist to do any of that stuff and keep most of the money to himself, that's even better. I understand that portion of the business, but at the same time, I understand the part where he says AI is a tool. It is a tool. It's too late now. The genie's out of the bottle. It's already there, right? It's depending on how you use it. Like, remember when the Spawn cover competition stuff?
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, because the one that won was the AI art.
Yeah, it was one
and
of
the guy wasn't even. Yeah, the guy lied about it. He said he did it in Photoshop and Procreate and all this other stuff, and it ended up finding out that he lied. He can't even draw straight. So that's where things are. And the thing with that is like if he's okay with it, then the next Spawn competition, I'm just gonna generate the shit out of every cover and submit it, right?
Right.
I mean, like, this is where things come in, because like it's the same thing on Kickstarter, how I see some of the AI art. If it's selling, then there's some like I don't see AI art selling like if it was a superhero comic book. It was more like not for safe kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's selling. So if you're into AI art, that's great. There's a lot of issues with that. But like if you're an artist and you use AI art to create your concept, your character design, I understand where writers would say, "Hey, can you draw my character like this? This is the idea I had," and they use AI because that's better than them trying to scribble it. Remember back then when we were using pin boards? I was getting what they call mood board back in the day, where the art director would come and say, "Oh, here's this piece of equipment, this piece, you know what I mean, body armor, this type of gun for this character,
Right.
and all this other stuff." So you would get all these elements, and as an artist, you got to slam it together, right? So I can understand now an art director can actually go in, type out, and say, "This is what I want." You know, the character is going to carry an M5. It's going to be a girl, long hair, blah, blah, blah. She's going to transform, you know. So what he can do with that now, he can take it to the artist, and the artist can now do what he needs to do because AI can only go so far.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's what I see. That's like the two arguments
Well, it's like
of
what
that.
Todd was saying. Like you use the AI to make the concept of the gun. You're not stuck
Yeah.
with whatever it spits out.
Yeah,
But you can at least
and
look
I
at it
think
and
that's
you
what
go,
he
okay,
meant.
that one kind of looks cool, and we can fuck with it here. It'll be even cooler. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's what he meant as a tool wise, but I don't know if he's going to hire a cover artist that just does only AI when he can do it himself. Right.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that's where like the person didn't ask him about that. I think he asked it as a tool. And, you know, Todd's coming from an art director. I mean, I've seen a lot of magazine covers now are all AI based of some sort.
Novels do it too.
Yeah. And that's because, you know, it's cheap. Everybody's trying to grab for that dollar stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, you can tell, and people are like, from my perspective as an artist, I think it's a good thing that AI is out there because I'm getting more work.
I will tell you what seems to be happening on my side of things with this too, is that, you know, I buy, as part of the contracts, I buy a few pages that are traditionally done with each book, you know, usually. And well, a couple of the guys only work digitally, but you know, like for 47 Furious Tales and Tibby, I usually buy like original cover art or maybe some interior pages, right? The prices I'm seeing that we're able to get from those original pages has gone up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
And that's good to see, don't get me wrong, but I think that those artists who are working and who are making at least a few pages using analog traditional methods, pen and you know, pencil and then inked, I think they're going to see more money on the back end than they have in previous years. Certainly, maybe not as much as you would in the 90s when comics were at their strongest for sales.
Yep.
But I'd say some of those folks certainly will.
Well, original
I know
art
that-
is, again, we keep talking about this. It's like the real true collectible, right? Every time Loc draws one of these cards, that's a 1-on-1, right? There's only one of these. You know, it's not like like Loc, are you worried that like maybe Topps one day goes, you know what, let's just make our 1-on-1s using AI?
No, because it doesn't happen, because how, like, you know, the collector's market is what dictates it. If collectors starts going, I want more AI art, then yeah, right? But collectors don't want AI art. They want an original sketch, you know, somebody who spent their time, and that's what sells. That's what the aftermarket does, is that sells. Like the collectors now are, the true collectors I've seen is like this boom right after the pandemic, right after COVID and all that stuff, was people starting to get into card collecting and all that stuff. Then people were buying comics. Then they're figuring out, oh shoot, there's, you know, sketch covers are now limited runs. You know what I mean? Compared to the 19th printing of Absolute Batman, right?
Yeah.
Then people are now gravitating towards, hey, you know what makes even better, more rare, is if I can get a page out of that Batman book, right?
Yeah.
and that is starting to become a thing. You know, there's conventions based on that. It's just original art.
Or you remember when we were talking with Bob McLeod, right? And we're talking
Yeah.
about some of his pages and the prices, and it's like, oh, that
Yeah.
one seems to be kind of less. Well, that's because Batman's not in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's one of those things where the market dictates what's going on. As the more AI slop comes out, the more people gravitates towards original art. I'm having trouble selling prints, just prints, at a trade show.
Yeah.
Right?
I think prints are almost a waste of time, honestly.
Yeah. I'm finding people like they rather go through my original art stuff, my sketchbooks, my whatever. They rather buy that piece. Then that way, when they leave the convention, they have, look, somebody drew this, because I mean, I could draw Batman 20 times. Each one is still a 1-of-1, right?
Something's gonna be different with each one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, I don't know how many times I drew Magic, right? But I keep coming up with different scenarios and
Well,
stuff
you
like
may drew the same headshot because you have to individually hand draw it. There's still
Yeah.
going to be these slight variances of it. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And there's all sorts of little things, and you know, like when Todd says it's a tool, he's not panicking about it. He's coming from a business standpoint. That's what it is. He's not looking at an artist because he's not using that anymore. He doesn't need to draw anymore if he doesn't want to, right?
Yeah, I don't think just some people don't get it twisted, right? I don't think he came
Yeah.
out and said, "Hey, bud, we're gonna do all our Spawn comics with AI now," right? That's not
Yeah.
kind of what was said there. What he said was, that he's still hiring these people to come up with these designs and concepts, and if they're using AI to help them come up with the coolest shit, then so be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's part of his pipeline, but he's not looking to put a complete Spawn AI in there because it's going to ruin his business right off the bat, right?
Well, he took enough shit just for the cover alone, right?
Yeah, and that's where things come into play. I mean, as the industry, like, I can understand some publishers are turning towards AI because, first of all, us artists are sometimes unreliable. You know what I mean? We're moody. We're, we get sick. We miss deadlines and stuff like that. And the publishers got their own deadline. They already got money involved. They need to get it out the door, right? So I can understand that part. But, as people catch on, people see this stuff. And they're like, yeah, it ruins their reputation, right? So yeah, it's a minefield, but it's at the same time it's out there. I can't really do much about it, right? I can scream all I want, firebomb a data center and the whole bit, right?
No, you probably don't want to say that in Canada. They're a little creepy about that shit.
Well, it sounds so science fiction, but it's almost like fucking science reality.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, I think probably starting next year, you guys are going to see this whole data center thing become a non-issue. Because first, SpaceX will be launching their.
I don't think that's going to happen, man.
AI, no, I'm pretty sure next year. It looks like it's on for.
I don't know. The law of thermodynamics is not going to work in space.
Yeah, it does. You radiate heat out the same way you do with the space station.
And not with the radiation belt that we got covered our stuff.
You're talking about the Van Allen belt? No, this is outside the Van Allen belt.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
it will be. I'll tell you what. I'll bet you a donut that by December of 2027, we've got SpaceX launching those satellites.
You got it.
Be Tim Hortons.
You got it.
No, I mean, that's
a donut. It's a no, because if you look at the International Space Station, right, the amount of solar panel out there, even though there's a lot of sun, it's only driving 120 kilowatts for the space station.
I'm not sure what the current voltage on that is, to tell you the truth.
So to drive,
I know they have a couple of those panels that have been dead for several years.
Yeah,
but
those things are like football field up in there just to drive.
Yeah, they're pretty big. They really are.
because it's all about surface area, right? Then
It
you
is,
have
and efficiency of the particular panels.
yeah, and you also have what do you call it? You also have meteorite impacts, all this other stuff too.
Mhm.
You know
Yeah.
what else we have? We have Reign of Ages 4 on Kickstarter.
Oh, that's
We
right.
do. Yes, we do.
With 55 backer strong, Sam now sits at $1,006 towards his $1,500 goal.
Yep. And from behind the scenes, this is the one that will really get you. Now, Kickstarter is now breaking down your project followers, right? By who is following pre-launch and who is following post-launch.
Mm-hmm.
So we have picked up 37 new followers since the launch, 3 of whom have already converted and pledged.
There you go.
So that leaves 34 there. Almost half of the people who followed pre-launch already pledged. We're at 41% conversion on that. So we are 60 something people who have followed the campaign that haven't pledged yet. We're probably going to convert, if our historic metrics are any indication, we're probably going to convert at least 20 of them. And that's probably enough to put us to our goal. Plus, we haven't, other than this show today, we haven't had any streams or events yet. Now, I've got a recorded interview tonight, and I've got a live stream here at 9. A couple other things I've got going on this coming week, so we should be able to draw a little bit more traffic. Here's hoping. And
well, I was going to ask you, what's the strategy now going forward, right? Because now you're into day 3, right?
Yes.
And so the honeymoon period is almost coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're going to have a good solid week, I would say, of really having to push hard. And then in your last couple of days, you're going to see a lot of those sort of followers that you had mentioned who haven't converted over. That's when some of them are going to convert over.
Right. And those last 2-3 days of it, I'm looking at, I'd like to get to, honestly, I'd like to see 65 backers by Sunday of next week. I think
you'll get that before then.
I think that's easily manageable. And honestly, at the current average pledge level, we actually only need about 83, 84 to reach goal. And we typically have like between 125 and 160 on a Reign of Ages campaign since the second one, including the last one we did that didn't fund. I think we had 150 or 140 or something like that.
Did you update that one?
Yeah, I sent an update on that one. In fact, the first few hours, it was almost entirely driven from the previous hardcore backers that follow Sinopa stuff. So, and we could put out the Substack. The Substack has not generated anything. Can you guys give me a minute? Willow is sending me a message saying she's at the door.
You take care of your business for sure. Reign of Ages, guys, on Kickstarter. This is the 4th book. Sam already has this book done. He's got proof copies, there with him. I'm sure he'll show them to us when he comes back. He did take some of my advice and added a couple more pages in here. I'm glad he's did that. I think that's going to help him a little bit because people do want to see, what the book looks like on the inside. I think that's fair to say.
It looks great.
Loc, I was watching you actually not that long ago. You were on with what was his name, Nauman?
Yep.
Right, and then some other guy he was running a Kickstarter, and you were doing the whole spiel. You know what I mean?
You mean Alan? Alan, he's writing. He's writing for EC and stuff. He's a writer.
He's a writer, yeah. But he had a project or something, right? You guys were going over his Kickstarter.
Yep.
It was interesting to watch you do that, right? It's like, Loc's getting a first-hand education in a lot of this, and he's sort of like passing the knowledge on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it from you, just sitting around and just
started because of you.
Osmosis, man. There's some stuff that comes in. A lot of it is because last month was the AA.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, you're
yeah,
good.
and we're just interviewing a bunch of the Asian artists and stuff like that. Next year, I'm gonna try to see if I can ask Ben to be on there.
Oh man, you should have jumped on that. Yeah.
Yeah. The next year, I mean, we got a whole lineup that's you know, we had like a lot of, like, we had John Boy Meyer the previous year. You know, most of the guys, something Chang, I forgot. Like a whole bunch of creators and stuff like that. It's just that this year I didn't get I'll jump on once in a while, but normally I'm usually on there with them, interviewing these artists, you know, their backstory, just being Asian, Southeast Asian, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the industry itself.
Putting a
So
spotlight. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it's an interesting month. I think they're doing a party night tonight. My phone is blowing up.
Oh man.
Yeah, they're all of them are in there or something like that.
Well, I'll let you get going here soon. Then.
Oh no, I'm okay. I'm
I mean,
okay.
we're not gonna be on for too much longer, anyway. So
Yeah,
Sam's
so-
got to jet and do his thing, and you know, thought we
Yeah, sorry, that was my daughter. She was at the door knocking.
Yeah, everything good.
Yeah, she's at her mom's tonight, but her mom lives across the street, so she had left something here that she needed to come get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So Sam, man, what's the strategy now? What do you think?
Well, we're going to play this one pretty simply. We're going to take and move forward with the interviews and such day to day. We've got, like I said, we got a couple other campaigns coming up too. So everything, just trying to make sure I build my cadence, because I can't really take and hit every single show possible on this one campaign. Because then the problem is I won't have any place to go to for the next comic campaign, right? So, and then between that, we've got the 4th of July art print campaign, and I need a few places to go there too. That one's probably going to get me some static, honestly, from a few people who follow me, because I am unapologetically patriotic in a normal, median American kind of way. And I think that sometimes people just want to find something to yell at.
Sure.
And so I expect to get a little bit of static from that. But we're having Damian Torres put together this absolutely beautiful celebration of the 250th anniversary of the United States. And the piece is going to be used also in a marketing campaign. But we're going to be making the prints available and try and get those out to people. Assuming that I get the work tonight, like I'm expecting to, we'll be able to get that out get the campaign launched. It'll be like 7 or 10 days. I've got to check with the printer to see how long it's going to take to get stuff printed. I'm going to order a press run. And that way the press run should be in by the time the campaign finishes, and we'll speed run fulfillment. I've actually got some more supplies in to handle that, and basically trying to do my best for Rain while being responsible for the other campaigns too. And the really cool thing too, I want to share something about this, is that we were off Kickstarter for a while because 2025 was really rough. We had a lot of losses in my family, but I got some of the coolest communications from people who had backed previous campaigns, right? Like this one from, we'll call this guy just John. And his message to me was, dude, I'm so glad you're back and get to continue this. I told him, thank you so much, man. Thanks for supporting the campaign. He's like, anything you make, I'm going to buy. I'm like, that's freaking fantastic. Right. I mean, and I will never, you'll never hear me say that I'm the best at anything, but I always try to do the best I can at everything. Right. And I think people appreciate that. This guy right here, we'll call him Nick. He has a different handle. But Nick is, to give you an idea, I shut down our Patreon years ago, right? And I told everyone to go ahead and, cancel their Patreon and everything. I have to go in every quarter because Nick and a handful of other guys refuse to cancel their Patreon subscription, and I go back in and refund it. And the last time I did that, I said, guys, we're probably going to restart the Patreon, but go ahead and cancel the paid subscription, just follow it. And then when we get it restarted, probably the end of this year, beginning of 2027, we'll be able to pick, new tiers and everything. And like, no, man, just, and to the man, this little squad of guys was like, no. And I mean, it's a little bit of extra money, and I keep going back in and sending it back to them because I don't like, taking people's money for nothing.
Right.
But Nick is one of the guys. He's like, dude, don't refund this. Put it on money towards Tibby so that you can get more pages done. And I was like, ah, damn it, Nick, that makes too much sense. But yeah, we've been refunding it for I think 3 years now.
Damn.
Maybe 4 years now. And yeah, we could have probably bought 2 or 3 pages with that money by now. But yeah, man, it's wild. It's wild to see what people do for you. I mean, people come out here and they just are so supportive and just really, I don't know how else to say it. They're just really gracious and kind. And I, for one, appreciate it,
Yeah, the community is great, isn't it?
It really is. I come in and I wrote a personal thank you message to each person here. Most of these names I know. In fact, a couple of these people, I probably remember most of their, if not all of their address by now. Like this gentleman here in the Netherlands, he has backed every campaign since the Steel Road. And yeah. Now, one person I don't have on here this time is Omar from the United Arab Emirates because we can't ship to the UAE right now. But I messaged Omar and let him know I'd set a book aside for him so that whenever we got to where we could ship, I'd send it to him.
When you're able to do so, man, this is it, guys. Sam is so close to goal. He's got 55 backers. He's like 2/3 there, basically.
Yeah, we only need $494 to reach goal. I actually, what my estimate is where we're going to go? Now, mind you, this is a 14-day campaign. I think we're probably going to hit about 2,500 to 3,000.
That'd be great.
Is where I think we're going to be. And anything that's really extra is going to go into, bonus for Nick, certainly.
Well,
but
this campaign is a lot different than the ones that I've seen you do in the past, Well, I don't know
yeah,
if I should say a lot different. It's a little bit different, right?
Well, everything's done, Like, to give you an idea, let me see if I still have it up.
Well, let me tell you why it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I know everything is done. And I was actually saying that when you were gone, that you have the proof copies and, so no one has to worry about, if you actually want to flash those right there. Here. Oh, I just took them off the air. There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
Right. So the book is already done. It's not like, hey, I got to wait a year for this, Like
yeah. I mean, we're shipping them. We're shipping them next month. So I will actually probably be ordering the print run. Not this coming week, but the next week, shortly before the campaign ends.
2 things I've noticed. One, you have almost half your backers are digital.
Yes.
24 out of the 55 are digital.
And almost all those digital are outside of the United States.
Well, yeah. I mean, people want to read the work, but they don't want to pay shipping, man. That's
the shipping is terrible.
So never, folks out there, right? If you're him and Han, if you should offer digital, offer digital. You're throwing away money, if you're not.
And we did all 4 issues digitally for $10. That's over 100 pages for $10.
This is it, man. I mean, digital products almost cost as much as physical now. They certainly do with video games, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of comics at PDF at like $10. We did 5 for issue 4. Because that's just what we've done for individual issues before, right? And even for some of our role-playing game books, like some of our adventure modules and such, have been like $5, $6, $7, $8, something like that. I don't think we've done any of the adventures that were over like 10 or 15.
Now, the other thing I've noticed is that, and maybe this is a norm for you, but it seems like you're only running 2 covers.
Well, for a lot of campaigns, we don't run a whole lot of covers. Like we did with the first issue of this, we had several different variant covers. We had the main one by Aisha Gulsanev, and then we had two others for Nick Capone and Buzio. But then when we did the Indiegogo, we had a unique cover for that. When we did the crowdfunder campaign, we had a unique one for that. And then we did another one later on for, it wasn't for Fund My Comic. I forget what it was for. We did another one. I think maybe it's for New York Comic Con or something like that. But so issue 1 had a lot of different variants. And then issue 2, we had a not safe for work variant. And then issue 3, we had a couple of covers. And then on top of that, a not safe for work variant. So there aren't a big slew of things, because when I'm paying for covers, we're actually paying anywhere from $250 to $500, right? And some people who've been working with me longer, are making more, to be perfectly transparent about it, right? Because they'll get the money for the commission plus whatever it is for the original piece, what have you. Like people like Damian Torres and Alexia Veldhazen are on that higher end 500, and then whatever else, right? And I don't have a problem with that. I think that keeping good professional relationships is worth its weight in gold, really. Because I can pick up the phone and call just about every artist I've ever worked with, and if they've got space in their schedule, I've got someone to do a task. So I appreciate that, and I like the fact that we don't have anyone ever come out and who's ever worked with me saying, well, you do this and you do that. Now, I will tell you that seemingly completely at random, we have some people who know absolutely nothing about us, nothing about what we do, and they'll say some incredible bullshit like, Sam and Sonoma Publishing, they don't hire women. And then I look around and I'm like, what? What? Aisha Gulsanev, Alexia Veldhazen, Sandra Cole, Kelsey Cohen Hardigan, Phoenix O'Ferry. The list goes on. What? And then we had one guy who came out after us, and he was like, yeah, they only hire white people. And then like that really caused some problems, because I didn't even say anything. All of a sudden, here comes like 2/3 of the people I work with going, what did you just say? I was like, yeah, you might want to talk to people, because here's the thing. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care who you love. I don't care what your gender identity is. What I care is, are you going to do the best work you can? Or can I afford your work? And are you going to deliver on time? It is entirely merit-based. So I think that has also lent itself to a lot of good relationships with the artists I work with, because every single one that I work with knows that the reason that they're there is because I think that they're damn good and that they're people I should be working with.
There you go, man. So that's the amount of passion you're guys gonna find in Reign of Ages 4, man.
I love working with these folks. I really do.
I don't think it's a bad idea to limit the amount of variants. You're talking to the guy who once ran like 14 of them on a project. Well, that was overkill. You know what I mean?
And the other thing too is we don't reprint these. So when we go to print a larger run or whatever, we'll do new covers, just like we did new covers when Anarch Press put out Tibby issue 1. Now the foil was of the line art from the original Kickstarter cover, but the other cover was completely wholly made for the AP release. So
speaking of AP releases, I was talking with the sensei not that long ago, and talking about Nyobi, and now that we're like here's my update. Issue 5 of Nyobi Outbreak is drawn fully. Now we just have to color like the last remaining 11 pages or so, whatever it is that we got left, and then those will get lettered, and then we can make our PDF and get ready to print books. So Juan has drawn them all now, so the book is drawn. We're now just finishing up the coloring, and so because Ben knows issue 5 is almost ready, now it's time to be talking with AP about, hey, when are we putting these out, right? So I had that conversation. Ben asked me to send in number 4. So I sent in number 4. They wanted 3 covers. They want to run a cover A and basically 2 variants.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So taking a big chance on that, I think. I figured they would just run one cover like they did with number 3.
Yeah.
But I think maybe,
Can you get one from Ben for that release?
well, yeah, we're using Ben's cover that we've already done. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Right. I unfortunately am not having 3 brand new covers done for this.
Mhm.
But I talked to the artists. I say, hey, here's the covers we want to put out in the direct market. Are you cool with that? Right. So Loc is one of them. So Loc's cover is coming to the direct market. So he's going to be one of the variants, and Keith Garvey is going to be the other.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
And we hope that sells a lot of books, right? And Ben Dunn's cover is going to be what I'm presuming is going to be cover A. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So those are the ones that I sent in. We got to have Ben Dunn. If we're releasing through Antarctic, right? We got to have a Ben Dunn cover.
You gotta have Ben Dunn cover,
Especially
yeah.
if we're doing a variant, right? It's got to be a Ben Dunn cover. Loc, he just did so much for us, for me, that I really wanted his cover to be out there. You know what I mean? And Keith Garvey's just going to sell books. It's just the way it is. So those were the 3 that I wanted to go with. And hopefully, they'll do well out in shops, and when they get solicited and when they all have order numbers, I will gladly come on here and tell you what they all are. And
Yeah, I'm gonna get a bunch of them in my shop, and I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna order them, and I'm gonna leave them there.
leave them there, And then that sets up for what we do with number 5, right? So I don't know what they want for 5, but we got a handful of covers that we can also use there, or maybe have something brand new done. I don't know. It's like for me, it's all money and budget right now, and I don't have the extra budget to splurge on anything. You know what I mean? Which is what I kind of noticed with Sam's campaign too, because much like my own, I didn't, Sam, you didn't run stretch goals this time,
I didn't. We are literally just going to focus on getting people the stuff they want without cluttering up their junk drawer.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot more stretch goals really this year, certainly at all. Because I might think that, as my position has often been in the past, I think it's better just to get everything you can do into it, factor it in for what your cost is, and then set the goal. And of course, sometimes when I do that, we don't reach goal and we have to relaunch. But you know what? It makes it easier on the accounting side for us. It makes it more reasonable to manage expectations. And people can come in on this campaign, and I mean, either of the covers is only $10 in print. Okay. And then the shipping in the United States is like $8, right? Yeah. So you're under $20 to get your Kickstarter copy, this limited press run, and get it sent to you, right? Now we did have a person who asked us to add in the B cover available as an add-on as well, because they wanted the Aisha Ghul complete all 4 sets, but they also wanted that B cover, because let's just face it, that's a badass cover. And so we went ahead and set that up, and then we got the add-ons are from existing stock. A nice real picture of the real books there too.
Yeah, no, these are great books, guys. I think I might be missing 3, and then even that I have to check. I know I got 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2 right there, guys. Man, if you're in these places, we feel bad for you right now, but that's okay.
Yeah, if you go back to that list for a second, there's a couple of things about this. This list comes from almost all. This comes from the United States Postal Service. There's a couple here I can't ship to for, I guess, other reasons is a good way to put that. But like normally, places I normally ship to on this list, stuff I have customers in, like I imported the list. Oh man, if I can get this list in front of me, hold on a second. So I don't have anyone in Afghanistan, not since everyone left. Of this first part of this list, we did have people in Israel who backed. We had people in Kuwait who backed. I've already messaged them. We've never supported anything in North Korea, Oman, Pakistan, or Qatar. The Congo, I personally can't ship to, and we'll leave it at that. Before the Ukrainian invasion, we had a few guys in Russia who used to buy our stuff. I haven't heard from any of them since the war broke out. And then the UAE, where Omar lives, we usually ship there, but began this update for the UAE and Israel is primarily due to the conflict going on with Iran right now. So completely out of our control.
All right, man. This is it, man. So, guys, go ahead and back this. Check it out. The link, of course, is in the chat. Again, the book is already, to me, the biggest selling point here is the book is done. Again, Sam was flashing that, those copies around, those copies, those beautiful copies right here.
And the thing is, they're not mock-ups. Let me grab this one real quick. They are actually.
Yeah. That's the real deal.
Yep. So the things that we've had to correct on this is I had to make a correction on how this lies because it sits right on the cut line.
Yeah.
And then we're actually replacing the Kubert School ad in this one. And I had to make a correction to the copyright declaration. And then Nick and I went through the whole thing, double checked it again. We didn't find any problems with any of the text, nothing inconsistent with any of the panels. And then just, fantastic work from Nick Capone all around. And I'll tell you too, he really put in some nice shots in here.
This is the way.
So really looking forward to issue 5, where we tie up this introductory arc and discover some concept of how long it's been since Rain was turned to stone and lost to time. And then issue 6, where we are telling the story of the team through the adventure module Death Comes to Glenfollow. So that's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be a bigger book. It's probably going to be bigger than I previously hinted at because there's some things in there I really need to get in. It's going to require like 12 more pages. So if any of you understand the cost of illustrating comics, you understand why I flinch at that a little bit. But we'll get that done. And about the time we what we'll do is we'll finish 5, get that shipped out. We'll do a crowdfunding campaign for a really nice, high quality trade of those first 5 issues. So that's going to be about 140 pages or something like that, along with some bonus content from stuff that we had for the previous Kickstarters and things going in the back of that. And that will be under the kind of the same rules. We'll take and produce that. We'll have a digital version. We'll have the print version, and then we'll have a separate cover option of that for print on demand, so that any potential collectability, as long of a shot as that is, won't be hindered. But we will actually, after the first 5 issues are done, be looking for mainstream distribution. And Nick Capone is going to do the 5 covers for the mainstream distribution. So those will be all new, all unique covers. And we'll look at getting that out into the world.
I assume, of course, you'll be doing a trade, eh?
Yeah, we'll do that too. Like I said, we'll do the trade through after 5 is fulfilled, and then 6 will be after that trade is fulfilled. And then by the time the trade is being shipped out to backers, we hope that the first issue will be out into the world for mainstream distribution through comic shops and such. The question is, are we going to do it under just a Sinopa logo? Or are we going to do it in collaboration with another publisher? What way is it going to be? So there's a few conversations that have to be had. Obviously, I want to talk to Ben and Joe Ming about it first, just because I like doing business with them. And then if not, then we may actually take and reach out to a couple other companies and see what their positions are on it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the black and white is going to hinder, though.
Well, it might, but by the same token,
I mean, there's been great black and white comics, so don't get me wrong, right?
Yeah.
I know Antarctic themselves will publish black and white. They've done it for many moons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, so will several others. So
I just remember when
it's-
I was like trying to flash around Nyobi, the thing people kept telling me is it's got to be in color. It's got to be in color. You know?
yeah, but I think now, especially with the traditional manga, is usually black and white, and that popularity is so high. I think that's basically disproven that whole thought process.
Yeah, you got a point there. That's for sure.
Yep.
So,
Loc,
but
who's this? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man.
oh no, go on. You're
I
fine.
was just gonna ask Loc what he's got on the go here now. Who is that, Loc?
I'm gonna draw Storm out of that one.
Who?
Storm.
Storm. Okay. There you go. Storm.
Her
right
headpiece
there.
is. I think it's a little bit bigger. I gotta look up a reference. I just remember that. I just kind of like the look.
So, Loc, before we go, let's just catch us up with you a little bit. You're working hard on these cards. Any comic book work coming through, or is that on pause right now?
It's. I know that. I have some space for Mad. They're asking me to do 4 pages on.
That's the Mothers Against Drunk Driving, not Mad Magazine, right?
Yeah, that the
just
mother
make sure
against
people
drunk driving.
understand. If anyone,
Yeah,
is watching.
it's. I just had a conversation with them last week. They're asking me to do some stuff about like what do you call it? Teen suicide kind of thing, right? So I said that's fine. You got to make it something that isn't preachy to the kids, kind of stuff, like right. So they're looking at trying to figure that out. Then they'll get somebody to write it, and I'll go through it. It's just like a 4-page comic that they're gonna do for the kids or something like that.
Right. It's a lot to cram in 4 pages.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be more like a PSA than anything else. I told them like don't have a conclusion, just have a like to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So something our superhero is a Canadian character's name's Goose, and she's kind of like an Iron Man version of stuff, and she's patrolling, and I think the possibility is some team is on top of a roof or something like that and just gonna land, and they're just gonna talk, and that's it. I think that makes a better compelling instead of like having a an ending. That's what I told them to do. It's just because it's 4 pages, right?
Right.
And at the end you can have the characters go, hey, if you're blah blah blah, these hotlines and these services are available. You're not alone. That kind of stuff. Because of the what's happening is they're noticing a lot of like especially girls on Instagram or TikTok, the beauty thing that's happening. Yeah. And they're getting bullied on there, and they're doing all sorts of, you know what I mean? It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And they're trying to solve that here, maybe with a comic, but I don't know the there's people out there who's doing this, right? So I don't know, like I don't have subject matter in that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Okay.
And these are psychologists, these are government people, right? They have this budget, they have this stuff, they want to do some stuff, but they don't know how to reach some of them sometimes. And they like the idea of the comics because it's all over the place. Like I did these little comics for them back in the day. There you go. Right. It's for drunk driving. Right. So.
And all that interior artwork is you, right?
Yeah, this is all me. All the colors, all the lettering, everything else. I had to do some writing for them too. So it started out as in like these grade 12 kind of wrote the story. Right. And that's what we drew. And they wanted something more professional. So they asked me to, so I took that and I turned it to, my thumbnails, and I did all the,
So how many pages is that? That looks like about 4 pages or so too.
Yeah, it's about 4 pages. 1, 2, 3. That's it. 3 pages right now. think 3 pages. 1, 2. Yeah, 3 pages. 3 pages. We had to shorten it a little bit. Right? It's about drunk driving, guys driving, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And it's more toward the little ones, just to get them thinking about it. And it's free. If you go up to those, what do you call it, the fairs, the county fairs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The fire department has box of these, and they just hand them out with the balloons and the little things. You know what I mean? And that's what they are for.
And they print them locally, I assume, right?
Yeah. They print them like in thousands from whatever.
Right.
The mad people. They have, all the flyers, all the stuff they do. Right. It's all over. That was all last summer, and the summer before they were doing that. They were showing up at like Fan Expo, the community center.
Yeah.
And they were just handing them out, Anime North and all this other stuff.
Loc also does like programs for the local wrestling there.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun. I actually enjoy that more than anything else.
The convention that we got coming up this weekend, the East Coast Comic Expo, is going to have wrestling there right on Saturday night. They have a group called IHW, it's like Inner Hybrid Wrestling, right?
Oh.
And I've seen them perform a few times, like every month or so they set up shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just local guys. They'll maybe bring in the odd name here or there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always
those
a good
are
time.
fun. Those are a lot of fun. That is a night to sit in the gym full of other stuff and watch these guys just do crazy stuff. Right. And they land on the table and you hear it. You hear that crack and you're like, oh, you're right. It's just...
Well, when I was at that convention at the Native Reserve last year, they had it there too, the same group, right? And I so wanted to get in the ring and like run the ropes, but they wouldn't let me for insurance purposes. Like if I got hurt in there,
exactly.
Yeah. But I wanted to climb in the ring so fucking bad just to see what it's like, what it's like to bounce off the ropes. I wasn't going to try and take any bumps or anything, but I just wanted to try and run the ropes, but that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, those guys are there's got to be something off with you if you want to become a wrestler. Right? And thank God these guys are out there, because they weren't, I wouldn't be entertained. You know what I mean?
Are you not entertained? No, I love wrestling since I was a child. I think most people who are our age, who still enjoy wrestling, have watched it, going way back to the 80s, And then I would come in and out of it here and there, but I've always sort of kept up with it in one shape, way, form, or another. So it's just cool that you take part in that. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's a little extra something special, that you do that I appreciate.
Yeah. Like I got into it because of my dad, right? My dad used to watch it, right? You know what I mean? And that's what it was. It was just that's how I remember it. Then I do these souvenir programs with these guys and these young guys, and one day I'm gonna see them, right? Like 5-10 years from now, they're going to be at WWE or something like that. It'd be like awesome, right? Because that's how they get recruited, right? I mean, the Rock's dad, right? Dwayne Johnson's dad started up here, right, in Northern Ontario, right?
That's Rocky Johnson, man.
Yeah. And was it what's his name still here? What's Bret Hart? No, not Bret Hart. Forgot their names. Anyways, but yeah, it's there. He still goes around here doing these small conventions and stuff like that. He shows up at these wrestling. He signs autographs and stuff.
Okay.
Jimmy Hart. Sorry, Jimmy Hart. Was it Jimmy Hart? Yeah.
Well, Jimmy Hart, the manager, the Mouth of the South.
Yes, the Mouth of the South. Yeah, he's actually from Ontario. He actually lives here.
We get Sergeant Slaughter here a lot in Kentucky, and Jake the Snake Roberts. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat comes up about every other year or so for Lexington Toy and Comic Fest, or every 3 years or something like that. But Sergeant Slaughter's at some convention somewhere in Kentucky every year, at least for the last 5 or 6 years, it seems. Well, I guess can't count the COVID years, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then I've run into Jake the Snake Roberts, I think twice now. The first time was at a little small, really tiny convention in Paducah. and that's a couple of hours drive each way for us. And so we were there for 3 days, driving back and forth from home to Paducah. Yeah. So that was easily drive time total over that weekend.
Wow.
But my daughter was God, I think she was 8, 9 at the time. So she would just sleep, right, in the vehicle, and she had a great time. She didn't go to as many of them as I went to, but the last one she went to, she had a blast with it. But the thing about Jake the Snake Roberts is that when I was real little, like 4, 5, 6 years old, my grandfather used to love to watch wrestling, and I would sit with my grandfather and watch wrestling on those Deep South Georgia Wrestling League or whatever it was called, right?
Yeah.
And Jake Roberts was on that, and I was talking to him. I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to see you're, around and doing well, and that people are sending you so much respect and admiration here." Because, I mean, I'm an older dude. I'm going to be 56 this year, but I still remember how much excitement he brought to so many people. And he was just really cool about it. He's like, "Man, you make me feel old, but I tell you, that's pretty damn cool." I'm like, "Yeah."
That's because you are old. We're all old, man.
Yeah, we're all old.
I know, man.
Old at this point. So old that I'm going to call it here. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for jumping. I'm getting hungry now. I haven't eaten yet. So I'm getting all starving here. Starving Marvin, from South Park. Anything you guys want to say before we bounce? Anything else you guys want to shill, promote, or get the word out on?
Guys, if you are, kind of on the fence about it, go ahead and back Reign of Ages anyway. I promise you're going to get your books. I hope you're going to love them. And look forward to some other really cool stuff that we've got coming. And support your local artists, your local comic shop, attend your local conventions, keep the fandom and the community alive and well. And remember, in a world where you can choose to be anything, please choose to be kind.
Fuck, man. Where can
Well
people
said.
find you, and how can they hire you if they like what they're seeing here, especially when we're rocking out the magic here? You know what I mean?
I'm actually pretty busy with the cards right now. But yeah, you can find me at my Instagram there. Just reach out, just DM me or something like that. There's a lot of projects being announced. I'm just busy with like, if you don't hear from me posting a lot, that means I'm grinding away. That's all it is, right? I'm hoping to get a few more IDW later on this summer. But I haven't heard anything about the Godzilla stuff. Maybe the retailer backed out. I know that the Hello Kitty one got rejected, but I got paid for those, so those are good, right?
Still paid work.
Yeah, it's paid work. It's paid work. So,
And I assume they probably have like little clause, like if we ever want to use this in the future, though, we can, sort of thing.
yeah, it's the file's been sent over. It's the licensor, right? It's the licensor. I can't put that on T-shirts. I can't, you know what I mean? It belongs to them. That's in their hand for that part. But yeah, as gig comes in, I'll get the email from them and say, "Hey, can you do cover for this, or this?" Right? And that's it. I mean, I'm trying to take it easy this year. Give it a little more room. I want to do some sequentials. I want to do some stuff inside books, and as things come along, we'll see where we go. And make sure you grab a copy of Nyobi. Once that gets into an order code, then we'll announce it, and I'll make sure I order a bunch of them for my LCS.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm assuming that's still a couple of months away, easy yet, though.
Yeah.
It takes a little while for that ball to get rolling, but I'm kind of hoping by the end of summer, maybe that's a thing. You know what I mean?
Yep. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I just want a couple, just driving up and say, "Hey, look what I found wedged in between the door."
It's a published cover credit. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean?
That's right. It's a lot more fun when you see it on the shelf and stuff like that. So,
and it's a paycheck. Gotta love a paycheck, man.
Yeah, I gotta love a paycheck.
Gotta love getting paid. I'll tell you, it makes a world difference. So, guys, one thing about that too, guys. I know it sounds preachy, and I apologize for it, But if you're wanting to create something, make your own comic or get a book cover done or what have you, pay your people promptly, pay them on time, use contracts so that there's no confusion, and develop and cultivate good professional working relationships. It will serve you very, very, very well, as it does in any other business. So that's my big advice for all of y'all.
Perfect. Kind of said it better myself then, guys. I'm going to let both of you go. I'm going to jump on out of here and grab something to eat. But thank you so much for hanging out tonight. And, we'll be back. I'll be back Wednesday for more comic book talk, man.
And I should have some new comics.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
So something to look forward to next Wednesday.
Yeah, here's hoping.
All right, peace out, gentlemen.
Later.
All right, so that is it. That is all. I don't know if we're gaming tonight. Probably not. I mean, I might game, but I probably won't be live. We'll see. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. So we'll talk to you guys.